This week I'll be showing you how to create a toolbar inside of Roblox Studio. Toolbars and the buttons that go inside of them are essential to plugin development. Let's get started. As always, I don't even know why I say it anymore. We start by inserting a local script. So we'll start by creating the toolbar. First we'll create a variable. As we tend to, we reference the plugin object, and then put in create toolbar. As you can see here on the wiki page, the only thing it requires is a name for the toolbar. So we'll drop that in and call it print. You can name it whatever you'd like, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm calling it print. Now we need to add a button to our toolbar. So we'll make a button variable, reference the toolbar, and create button. There are actually 3 arguments for this. There's the text, the tooltip, and the icon name. Text is the name of the button that the player sees if you haven't established an icon. We'll name this status. The second is tooltip. Tooltip acts like the description of the button and what it'll do. So I'll type what it's going to do. And finally, there's the icon. I don't have an icon, so I can just put in quotes. This will cause the button to default back to its name. So now let's add some functionality. I'll make a function and call it clicked. For our trigger, we're going to use the click event. So button.click connect to clicked. The event doesn't actually return anything, so we don't need to worry about putting anything in these brackets. So now we need a Boolean variable to define the state of the plugin. So we'll create a new variable and call it status. Now in the clicked function, we can simply set status to the opposite of whatever it was before. So I'll type status equals not status. This effectively reverses the Boolean state. Next we'll use a function called setActive in order to define the state of the button. You can see here that the setActive function only takes one argument, and that's whether or not it's active. So I'll put button setActive and refer to the status variable. And now finally, we just need to print something to the output. If status, then so if status is true, print on, else print off. And that's all there is to it. This is actually one of my more simple tutorials. So now we'll get this published and check right back. So now if we've done our job, we can go to the plugins tab and see this button here has now appeared. It might be over here depending on the order that the button spawned, but for me it's over here. And if I click it, it says on in the output. So there you go. And if I click it again, it turns off. On, off. On, off, 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 on, off